Hey everybody, welcome back to Pentiment. And in the last one, Arthur Mailer, the main character, died in a fire, apparently. And he did apparently finish some kind of a work uh, for the church, and I think that's what we're going to check out. St. Satia's shrine. Martha especially likes to leave offerings for her. That shows where everything burned. Apparently I'm going to the Drucker house. Need to grab the mural plans from the workshop at the house and then head to the rat house. It should be sitting on his workbench near the printing press. The rat house mirror sketches. I think this is what my dad wants. I think these are all of the plans. What is... Is this part of the plans? Stop. Huh? Did someone leave this here? Who visited recently? Well, whatever. I'll bring it just in case. Alright, I better get these over to the rat house. Hey again, Mags. Are you serious? I just told you not to call me that. And what are you doing? What are you all doing out here? Don't you have better things to do? What business is that of yours? Not me, actually. All my work's done, Mags. What do you care? It's not like you got important work to do. Oh, wow. This might be going further than I thought we would. Alright, let's see. Magnaline. Second character. Domestics, bookkeeping. Tinker. I like Tinker. She's a pressing person. She messes around with the machinery every once in a while. I keep the rest running for my dad, and I work with Baltus with his inventions. It seems a little more important than standing around the commons in the middle of the day. All his inventions are stupid. Doesn't seem like something girls should be involved with, if you ask me. Right, and no one did. Calm down, Mags. You're gonna get a reputation. Too late to worry about that. She already has a reputation. Skilled at stinging, countering, and otherwise deflating people in conversation. Likes to playfully tease and flirt. Strong negotiator. Penchant for sneaking around, eavesdropping on conversations, and passing passive. I like bards. At least I have a reputation. If you died today, your epitaphs would read 3 shitheads who spent every morning harassing girls in the commons. Assuming you ever got a grave, that is. More likely they'd toss your worthless bodies on a compost heap and hope for a better return. Jesus Christ! Alright, we got it. Lay off. Did you get those things your dad wanted? Yes, that's why I was on my way to the rat house. Hopefully I can drop these off and start my reading for the day. Reading? What book is so important that you need to get back to it? Familiar with popular books of the day, sort of trivia, almanacs, common knowledge, catalological stories. Range of contemporary books of Reformation and Counter-Reformation. Melzune, Esther sent it to me from Prague. Is that about the snake woman who takes off all her clothes? Sort of, but no, not really. Or at all. Yeah, does it have any pictures? Right, I want to see. Calm down, I'm not showing you lecherous dogs anything. Don't you read all sorts of books about trees and birds and whatever? Yes, trees and birds and whatever, that's right. People are finally writing down what they see in nature instead of copying something a Greek imagined centuries ago. Do you have any books on frogs? What? Never mind. Wait. Oh, aren't you supposed to be at the rat house too? You're on the council. Sure, but it's pointless without your dad's plans. Let's go. Fine. I don't understand how we're still arguing about this. Those murals should depict the truth. What we know is the truth. I don't think it's so simple, Klaus. You afraid of angering our Lord, Father Thomas? I think what Father Thomas means is that the truth is not so easily agreed upon. I don't know. I'm tired of arguing. I just want it to look nice and show what happened. Magdalene, thank you for bringing these. Maybe illustrations will succeed where talking has failed. I'm done arguing with them. I'll see you at home for supper. It's all right, Magdalene. We need to see the drawings. It's not that we don't understand what he's trying to do. I didn't realize we had upset him so much. Sounds like things got worse after I left. We've been arguing about this for almost 2 hours. For all the good it did us, he hasn't budged. What's the point of talking if you can't make any progress? Magdalene, could you speak to your father? Help him see things from our point of view? Father Thomas, I don't even know what you're arguing about. What is your point of view? Klaus has strong, very strong opinions on how the history of tossing of Cursa Abbey should be portrayed. And these portrayals may upset some of our neighbors. Isn't the real concern that it's going to upset the Lord? Isn't everyone really worried about him coming here someday and seeing the revolt memorialized on the wall? You keep saying that we all disagree with him. I don't think so. Not entirely. Well, what do you think, Jorg? I know I'm not the smartest man in this room, but I know what happened to my own dad. I know what he did. It doesn't feel right to ignore what happened to him, and what happened to Otto. Look, you all knew my dad. I never had the chance. I don't want to make the people in this town angry, and I don't want to make our Lord angry. None of us do, but maybe there's a way to tell this story in a way that's true without upsetting anyone. So, it's all very complicated, you see, Magdalene? Try to get him to consider a portrayal of our history that's a little less inflammatory. I don't think it's as complicated as you all think. We need to come to an agreement or call off the mural entirely. He's been wanting to paint this mural for years. We can't just tell him no all of a sudden. Then help us, Magdalene. Your father will listen to you. Fine, but only so he can paint it, not on the account of your bickering like children. No, I'm going back home. This mess has taken too much of my day already. Huh. Magdalene. Thank you for bringing the drawings of the rat house. To the rat house. I'm sorry it was a waste of time. Those men don't know what they want. And when I tell them what I'm trying to do, they get scared. Then they talk and talk and talk. They talk all day and we're never any closer to a decision. I'm sick of it. Sick of the whole thing. Can't you just start working on it? If they don't like it, they'll have to figure it out for themselves. I could, but the first payment requires the council's approval. Damn it, I don't even care about the money. Maybe you're right. To hell with them. I didn't realize you were so upset about it. We hear all these stories about what this place was, how it came to be. And it feels like history is something that happened before, happened to other people. But 18 years ago, we lived through something, you and I, everyone in Tassing. Everyone wants to forget about it, pretend that it didn't happen. But you don't. No, I don't. All those years ago, I did nothing. I was worried for you, worried for Benjamin and Rachel and Esther. I was so afraid that I'd lose you. I wouldn't have been able to bear it. In the end, so many people died anyway. Peter and Ulrich and Andreas and all of the others. And we lived. Dad, everyone says that it wouldn't have made any difference. If you and the others had fought, you would have died. I would have died. Maybe I could have stopped him from going to the mill. Or maybe we could have stopped the peasants from burning it down. But we'll never know. Is that what this is about, this mural? It's a chance to put something down in a place where everyone can see. If people start to forget, this will remind them. We were here. This happened. If I don't do it, who will? Don't let it get to you. It's too late. Well, at least try to get a good night's rest. Maybe things will be better once everyone's slept on it. I hope so. All the arguments left me beat. I'm going to bed early. Alright, I'm going to stay up for a bit and write a letter to Esther. Good. Please say hello to her from me. And her parents, I know, Dad. Good night, Magdalene. I love you. I love you too. All this running around's left me tired too. It'll be nice to sit down at my desk and just write for a while. Alright, where's her house? Or my house, I guess. It is the Drucker house. Alright, where to begin? Oh, I should write to Esther. Dearest Esther, hope you and your family are well. Dad sends his regards to your parents as usual. I spent the last few days collecting oak galls with Sister Gertrude. I don't suppose you don't have a chance to do that in Prague. Sister Gertrude's been teaching me how to grind them into smooth ink. It's difficult work, but you'll find no better ink anywhere in Bavaria. I'll send along a bottle with this letter. Oh, did I mention, Dad started a new project. He's painting a mural of Tassing's history in the new rat house to memorize the revolt. The whole thing has me thinking about my own family history, past, present, and future. The printing shop has been in the family for years. I'm looking forward to taking it over. Of course, Dad will keep running it until they can't pull the levers anymore, but I'll take over sooner than later. Of course, the print shop will be more profitable than anything else my husband does. Especially if I have to marry Alex. Christ, you would not believe how annoying he is. I think his mom's under the impression that he's been courting me. Can you imagine? And yes, before you break the nib off your pen, I will come visit you in Prague, I promise. I'll try to make time to visit before winter, but life has been bustling here. Dad's been busy with the Roundhouse mural, so I've been taken over in the workshop. I'm sure it'll be a sight to behold once it's finished. Write back to me soon. All my love, Magda. Ah! Dad? Dad! Magdalene. Dad! Hang on, I'm coming. Dad! Magdalene. What happened? Are you alright? You're bleeding. Someone came into the house. They hit me over the head. I'll go get Dr. Stoltz. Try not to move, Dad. Magdalene, it's not safe. Whoever attacked me. The wound is too deep for me to take care of on my own. We need Dr. Stoltz. Magdalene, be careful. I will. I'll be right back. I promise. Do you know why anyone would want to attack you, Klaus? No. Maybe someone didn't like one of the books I sold them. Are you sure you didn't see a shadow and you hit your head on the printing press? Come on, Jorg. You saw the workshop. Someone was looking for something. A burglar and tassing. That's preposterous. Well, if it wasn't an attack, what was it? Enough. It was a deliberate blow to the head, unless any of you wish to debate my diagnosis. No. As I thought. Truthfully, Klaus, I'm surprised the blow didn't kill you. You have a strong skull. It's a grave injury. Magdalene, you'll need to help take care of your father. I will, whatever I need to do. Good. Of course, the mural will have to be called off now. Klaus, you absolutely cannot get out of bed. No, it has to be done. This is too important. Just give me some time to rest. I'll find a way to make it work. I don't think we need to cancel the entire project. Can we just wait? Klaus, your health comes first. Anyway, we haven't even been able to agree on what the mural should be. Indeed. It might be best to abandon the entire idea. With respect, Father Thomas, you're not on this council. Yes, just offering opinion. I can paint the mural. What? Mags, quit joking around. Well, I know you want to help your dad, but aren't you too young for something this big? I'm old enough to run the print shop by myself, and my dad trusts me to illustrate the books. Isn't that enough? Painting a mural this large and complicated will take a lot of skill and expertise. So that's why we were having your dad make it. He's been making art forever. I agree with Paul. Klaus needs home care. You're best suited with that, Magdalene. Not a mural. What is that supposed to mean? Well, are you sure you're up for it? Physically, I mean. It is quite demanding. You'll be up on scaffolding and could fall. Are you not listening to me? I've already been doing this work for years. I know what it takes. Dad knows what it takes. Do you? I can do it, Dad. If you don't trust Magdalene to do the mural, to hell with the lot of you. Klaus. If you don't trust her, you don't trust me. I'll never do any work for this council again. Alright, I say we let her. It doesn't look like we have much of a choice. Very well. Alright, Magdalene, you can do it. But you still need to talk to us about what you're doing, alright? Fine, but I'm taking Dad's ideas into account. Well, we'll figure it out. Thanks, Magdalene. Rest up, Klaus. I'll do my best, Jorg. Magdalene, just a moment. Yes, what is it? I didn't want to say this in front of your father or the others. Your father is lucid right now, but his injury is severe. His current demeanor is misleading. I know the injury is severe, Werner. I saw all the blood. Magdalene, there's damage to his brain. He may have a few weeks, maybe even a few months left. But he's not going to survive. Can't we take him to see a surgeon? No, he cannot be moved in this condition. In fact, he shouldn't move at all. Even if he could, I don't think the finest Italian surgeons would know how to deal with trauma like this. So he's just going to die? And there's nothing I can do about it? You can make him comfortable, and you can enjoy the time that you have left. I can help with palliative care. But time will run out before too long. I'm sorry, Magdalene. Dad needs to be able to see this mural in its finished form. But I don't know how much time he has left. Bueno said it could be a few months, or... God protect him. I'll pick up where Dad left off. He wanted to paint the history of Tassing from its earliest days to the revolt. I'll start with the earliest part of Tassing's history, the pagans, tribes, and the Romans. And then I'll move on to the founding of Abbey and Tassing's saints. After that, I should find a way to represent our recent history. Depicting the revolt is important to Dad. People in Tassing might know some of the town's history, but not all of it. Dad said the library in Curacao had those records. He was going to write to the last prioress to see if she had any information. I should write to her now while I'm thinking about it. Alright, where to begin? Dad told me the last prioress at Curacao knew something about the old history of Tassing. He said he became the abbess in a convent in Bologna. Mother Illuminata? Yes, at Santa Margherita. Should write to her. Small town in the Republic of Genoa, along the coast of the Ligurian Sea. Mother Illuminata, Abbess of Santa Margherita, former librarian of Curacao Abbey. I am the daughter of Klaus Drucker, Magdalene. We are printers from Tassing. We were acquainted with my father. He bought many books from the library before that terrible fire consumed the place. I'm writing because my father and I are creating a mural in the Tassing Rat House. It's going to tell the history of our community and of Curacao as well. We have only legends and folklore, since of course all of Curcao's books were destroyed in the fire. I was hoping you could tell us something about the early history of the town when the Romans were here. If you know anything about the early history of the Abbey itself, we would also be glad to hear of it. We would appreciate any help you could give us, and we hope you are well. My father always spoke highly of you, especially how you cared for the sisters after the fire. God bless you. Magdalene. If I want to finish the mural before Christmas, I should start planning tomorrow. I should head to bed and get as much rest as I can. Time jump! We're going to Christmas. Beginning of November. Ah, Mistress Druckern. I have few letters addressed to you. Take care now. Thank you, sir. Mother Illuminata wrote back to me. I hope her response helps me paint the mural. Mistress Druckern, thank you for your letter. I hope this reply finds you and your father in good health. I remember you both, as your father would carry you between rows of our library in those final years. I also remember your late mother and brother. God keep their souls. While we did have some books that discussed Tassin's past, it's likely they were as mythological as what your neighbors believe. That said, I do remember one of the peasants, Tillman Krautzauer, read about the history of the town. I know he died during the revolt, but perhaps his family knows some of what he learned. I should also say that it's not true that all of Kirsau's books were destroyed in the fire. Andrus Mailer managed to save some from the flames, God rest his soul. In the aftermath of that terrible night, cataloging and preserving the surviving books was not at the top of any of our minds. Even so, this topic has stirred a memory within me. Several years before the fire, there was a death at Kirsau, the murder of Baron Rothwell. He had mentioned something about finding a copy of Historia Tassiae, a comprehensive chronicle of your home. I had forgotten about it until now because the murder dominated all of our thoughts in the days and weeks that followed. It troubles me now because I recall that the late Father Matthias was also reading a copy of Historia Tassiae shortly before he died. We never accounted for either book's whereabouts. They may have been hidden somewhere in the library and went up with everything else. Perhaps Lucky Steinauer took it from the Baron after the murder. Though given the stonemason's motive, it seems unlikely. Then again, only God knows what he did and why he did it. Nicholas Haberl, the Baron's manservant, believes it may have been stolen by the town thief Martin Bauer. If Martin is still alive, I would ask him if he knows where the book is. Hopefully he didn't trade it for a mug of beer on his way out of Tassin. If the man has passed from this world, perhaps his family knows where the book wound up. As for the history of the Abbey, I fear that it was also lost in the blaze. However, as sacristan, appointed official of a monastery responsible for maintaining the sacristy where vestments and objects used in ceremonies are kept, the sacristan is often the treasurer. He learned a great deal about the subject. I have not kept in contact with him, but I know that he is now the Archdeacon of Sion. Once a free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire, Sion became the capital of Valais, where Canton joined the Swiss Confederacy following the Swabian War of 1499. He is no longer a Benedictine, but he uses his family name. Fauci Saus? If you write him soon, your letter may reach him before the snow covers Valais. Canton and the Swiss Alps. Valais became associate matter of Swiss Confederation in 1829. Please, convey my best wishes to your father. He was a good friend to the Abbey in its better years. Despite the violence that occurred, I hold no ill will toward anyone from Tassin. I pray that you have seen better days since that night, and God forgives the many errors that we made. God bless you as well. Mother Illuminata, Abbess of Santa Margherita. Oh, Esther wrote to me as well. My dear Magna, my parents were glad to hear from your father. Please tell him that they wish to hear from him soon. Speaking of printing, your ink was well received indeed. I've made several prints with it. They look lovely on the wall. Elisha has taken to making his own ink from the scraps he found around the house after he saw yours. Mother was furious when he spent several pfennigs trying to find lapis at the market. She set him scrubbing the floors for it. It took him 3 days. I'm glad you keep him busy, even though it keeps you from visiting. Father says we'll have room whenever you decide to make an appearance. And if you do take over the shop in Tassing, make sure you'll have to make visits to Prague for supplies. Who knows, maybe you'll meet someone here. I've made a good match, too. Before the expulsion, there was a handsome man at synagogue, Simond, who caught my eye. His father is a merchant, and he's a doctor. He went to the University of Padua. Can you believe it? Padua. I'd quite like to marry him, if I can find him again. Anyway, I think you'd have better luck than me. The boys always swoon at a beautiful blonde artist from the Alps. Please keep us abreast of your father's mural. We'll have to come see it when it's finished. Blessings. Esther. We'll have to write Esther back tonight. I should head home and check on Dad. Hey, Dad, how are you feeling? Magdalene. Sitting upright is still a struggle, I'm afraid. The dizziness makes my stomach turn, so I'd rather not eat at the moment. Are you sure? I can bring up something light, like milk or broth. No, I can't stomach anything just yet. But tell me, where are you off to? I need to get started on the first part of the mural today, the old history. Mother Illuminata didn't know much about the Tassing's early history, but she did give me a few places to start. I'm going to ask Black Till if his grandfather told him any stories. Illuminata said he used to read about the Romans. Mother Illuminata, Magdalene. Right, yes, Mother Illuminata. Young Kreutzer has mentioned those tales from time to time, yes. He comes by to borrow books now and then. Usually when he's found some interesting old ruin out in the fields, you might ask him about that. Il Peter's always harumphed about how no one's paid attention to the old ways anymore, too. Oh, well, he's really old. I'm sure he'll have some stories to tell about old Tassing. You might stop to talk to him. I can hardly understand him these days, but he's worth asking. He's an old man, Magdalene. He'll enjoy the company either way. All right, I'll talk to him too if I have time. You might talk to Smokey, too. Smokey's still alive. The old charcoal burner seems to know more about what's in the woods around town than anyone else. That and he's known to gossip. He's always been kind to me when I chat with him. I'm certain he'll know something about the ruins. You may hear something worth your while, at any rate. I'll go talk to him. What about the ruins or the mines? I can't just use books and stories alone. I want to explore whatever is left over from the Romans and before. The salt mine and Roman ruins are the oldest parts of Tassing, so it only makes sense to see what they left behind. Ah, you take after your mother. She was always thorough in her research. You always said that's what good artists do, Dad. Be careful, alright? I know the twins mess around near the salt mine, but I don't want you getting hurt. I don't know why Jorg doesn't keep them in line. They're always making trouble, those two. Son Apollo. Don't worry about me, Dad. I'll be careful. Good. Still need you to run the press for a little longer, after all. Don't forget your own other chores while you're running around town, alright? We still have a household to run. I'll get to them, Dad. Good. I'd better get going if I want to do all of that today. I'll see you later, Dad. Good luck, Magdalene. Alright, well, it's a good introduction to her character and what's going on. It looks like there might have been a murder. At least an attempted murder happened. But the murderer wasn't so lucky. And now we're working on a mural, and hopefully we can follow her father's wishes, and hopefully he'll survive to see it. And this game's taken some twists and turns, and I definitely thought this was kind of an epilogue, but just shows that it's more of a story about the place than than any certain character. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Hope everyone's enjoying it as much as I am. And we'll have more Return to Monkey Island tomorrow. And on Monday, we're doing a new game that's a lot like this, The Valiant Hearts, The Great War. And it takes place during World War I and has a lot of similar stuff that's inspired by true events that took place. So you'll want to, if you like this, I think you'll like that. So check that out on Monday. Then we have another Tunic Tuesday. Things are getting kind of crazy toward the end game in Tunic. We only have one more boss to beat. So I don't know, I might be able to finish it, but I think there's a lot of stuff left to unlock to get the real good ending, and I might work on that too. So anyway, good to hope everyone's having a great weekend, and we will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.